Hello, Agile friends. My name is Dave Simpson, and we're here today with our amazing speaker, Jayme Edwards. In this session, Jayme is going to teach us about sustainable collaboration. So welcome, Jayme.
Hey, thanks, Dave.
Yeah. Just before we get going, though, I just want to give everybody a heads up that there's some other sessions in the Product Owner Summit 2023 that touch on topics that every product owner should know, which we're thinking that this falls under. But we don't want you to miss those. For example, Anna Force joined us for a session on how the PO role can feel a little bit like being between a rock and a hard place. So that was a great session, and you should check that one out and other sessions at productownersummit.org. But now it's time to focus on what we're going to talk about with Jayme here today. So before we get into that, though, Jayme, can you give us a little background on what viewpoint you're coming at this from and this idea of sustainable collaboration?
Sure, Dave, no problem. Yeah, I'm coming at this more somewhat from a software developer perspective. Just super brief background on me. I've been in the software industry for about 25 years. The first 15 years of that, I was a developer and an architect. Then I switched into more of a consulting type of a role where I got to work very closely with, CTOs, product owners, business owners, more with the business side, essentially. And today, I thought it'd be good. We can just talk about some of the things I've learned that in coaching product owners and developers, and myself being a developer for a long time, just some of the things that I think really improve the relationship between product owners and developers. Obviously, I'm going to be coming at this from the perspective of a developer, but some of this, I hope this advice is helpful even if you're not in the software industry.
What came to mind when I was thinking about this talk is you've got to see some good examples out there. So being a developer on a team, what was one of the best POs that you worked with, and what were they doing, and maybe more importantly, what were they not doing to get that collaboration between them and your side of the team?
Well, I've actually been really blessed in my career to work with a lot of really great product owners. Some difficult relationships for sure, but I'd say it's a variety of things. One of the biggest things is just making time for each other, which sounds simple, but it's incredibly difficult. I mean, if you think about it, often a product owner is measured differently by the business or whoever is kind of evaluating them, versus a developer is usually managed and measured more based on productivity metrics. How many features are they getting done, how much output are they producing, versus product owners, obviously they're measured on the success of the business and customer satisfaction and things like that. And I think being able to understand those two different roles, that's going to take time, right? If you've been in the industry for a really long time, some of that's just natural. But some of the best product owners I've worked with have really, I think, had a bit of humility to understand, there's probably some things I could learn about the developer or sort of my line worker's role. And similarly, developers or people maybe who are, at a company that's not doing software development that are producing some sort of, let's say, physical product, they can often look at product owners and be a little confused about, and be making some assumptions about what the job entails. And, I've learned in my many years on the planet that assumptions get me in a lot of trouble. So, the best product owners I've worked with, they've just been open and transparent. I mean, I know that's a super, common thing people are saying all the time. It's easier said than done. And obviously we want to be a little bit careful that we don't share things that are, not appropriate in the workplace and things like that. But the best product owners I've worked with have had a respect for, the differences between them and me, and we've tried to understand each other. And I think they've also really just looked at the people who are producing the product as partners and not just producers. That's a big part of it too. I know, when I started out in the industry, I was fresh out of school, just learning to write code essentially. And even though I was brand new to the industry, I was working with a lot of very new technology at the time. Now, again, this was 25 years ago, but, some of the product owners that I got to work with at my first job, I was really fortunate in that they looked at me as, here's this young guy. He's never been in the industry. He's brand new to his job. Even though he's so inexperienced, he may have a little bit of a pulse on some things that are happening in the market with technology and software that maybe we don't.